Things are better. The world is better.
Just because there's not a war doesn't mean there's peace. He's coming.
Some call him Apocalypse. He was some kind of god. For thousands of years, he's been amassing mutants to take their powers. He always had 4 followers.
Like the 4 horsemen.
Eric, don't join them.
Whatever it is you think you saw in me, I buried it with my family.
Together, we will cleanse the earth.
Everything they've built will fall! And from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one!
I've never felt power like this before. They took him. Raven, the world needs the X-Men.
I'm not a hero.
Students look up to you.
If I'm going to teach your kids something, I'm going to teach them how to fight. Follow me.
To her.
I'm not afraid of him. Magneto, he's my father.
What?
Him and my mom, they did.
No, I know.
Not all of us can control our powers.
Then don't.
Apocalypse means to destroy this world.
It's all of us against a god. And the most powerful beings on Earth.
Forget everything you think you know. None of that matters. You're not students anymore.
We'll take everything from them.
You're X-Men. Well, you've been busy.
We had a little help.
Oh my God. We all have mics.
But can we harmonize?
We're equal
That's my
opportunity
name.
micers here.
Who called me Jamesy? How did you know? Love you too.
We all love James, but we love all these guys. Come on. I'm going to start off by asking all of you, starting with Alex here. But let's put you on the spot, put Storm on the spot. What was your either favorite or most challenging scene to film?
Most challenging would be... No, I don't want to do my most challenging. They're all really challenging. My favorite was when... has everyone here seen X-Men?
No.
Oh. All right, well, my favorite scene is how Storm is introduced. And it has a little bit of like an Aladdin undertone in my opinion, which is really cool. I don't know, it was the most fun.
She's like one jump ahead of the red line. It's a really good scene. She can really
It's my
sing.
favorite scene. It's my favorite scene.
Now, what about you?
The most challenging part of...
Challenging or favorite?
I mean, I always say this, but I guess the most challenging aspect of the role is not being able to use my eyes. So there's one scene where I get to use my eyes, and it's in the first 5 minutes of the film, and then my character discovers his mutant powers, and then from that point on, there's glasses or a bandage or something. So
I will say, though, that first scene that you're talking about puts pay to bullies everywhere, man. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you take care of them.
yeah, fuck
You
those
take care of
bullies.
business.
Does it have to be like my favorite scene that I shot, or could it be as someone else? I love the beginning when that gold liquid is going into Apocalypse. I think it's in the trailer. That's awesome.
I'd say my favorite scene was probably the first scene I shot in the movie, was with Rose Byrne, and we got to do lots of just kind of unabashed kind of I really like you acting. I really want to have sex with you acting. Which for Charles Xavier, you don't get to do that a lot because He's so sort of like, hey, I'm all about the children of the future and like taking care of the bad guys and trying to do the right thing. But I got to play the first 10 minutes of the movie just going like, I really want to just take you to bed. And that was fun to do.
You were really, yeah, you were like the stuttering, cute, love-struck.
I was going for manly, studly, kind of like handsome, but thank you for
I'll take
producing it.
handsome.
Yeah, thanks, cheers.
I guess
Quicksilver.
Yeah. It was probably there was a kitchen sequence in the Days of Future Past. So there's another one in this new film that we shot that's similar but bigger, and that was really really crazy to shoot and really fun, and cool.
Now let's catch up with each of your characters when this movie opens. So let's go back the opposite way.
What do you want to know?
Where is
Repeat that
Quicksilver when Apocalypse
He's
starts?
in his mom's basement. He's living in his mom's basement still, and trying to find a way out, I guess, and get out there and do something with his life, I guess. So that's where you find him.
And Charles is he's in a much better place than in the last movie, but he's a teacher. That's all he is. He believes that children are there to be helped, and these particular children who are struggling are there to be eased through their journey, through discovering their powers into becoming just normal people, really. And then by the end of the movie, he's like a leader of a paramilitary organization, and he's going to kill people who mess with him.
He does have a very, very nice arc going from this very sweet, caring man to discovering his own, I think, strength, really, right?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And, the kind of struggle within him, I think, is that he is essentially a pacifist who believes in the good in people, human and mutant alike, but he gets a bit more violent in this movie, which I like.
Jubilee, she's been a student at the mansion for a while, and I think for her, this film is an introduction to her character. She hangs out a lot with Scott and Jean and Nightcrawler, and, you just kind of get to know her a little bit better than you have in the previous ones.
Question is where we find our characters in the...
Yes, Ty.
Thought so. I didn't hear the question, but I was like, I think it's... Okay.
That's the question.
The origin.
Use those eyes, man. Use those eyes.
Well, I think this film is really exciting for, a lot of the characters, because it's very much an origin story for Storm and for Cyclops and for Angel and Jean Grey. But I think, I'm...
What's so funny, Storm?
Ty's.
Yeah, what's...
Ty.
He's a really great guy.
Take your time, Ty. Take your time.
Own it, man.
Well,
Own it.
Just cool it.
You got this,
we'll
buddy.
get to
You got this. No. I'm good.
All right, you meet my...
I'm golden, but...
Okay, Jesus Christ, would you just let me speak? All right. Well, I'm going to make one more attempt at this. Maybe.
From the top.
So we meet my character in a school. It's before he's discovered his mutant powers. He quickly discovers them, sends lasers through his school, blowing it up, and then his brother, Havoc, takes him to the school for mutants, and that's where I meet Professor X, and then become part of the X-Men team.
And have the coolest sunglasses, ever.
Yep.
I will say that. Now, what about you? I think Storm probably has the coolest, one of the coolest starts in the movie.
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
I would definitely say it's the best. You should keep interrupting her.
You find Storm, and she is she's a street rat. She's living in Cairo. She's stealing, and she gets found, really found. You know what I mean? And yeah, she really gets found.
Good one, Alex.
Yeah, it's like how it's like how Cyclops, gets found. So.
Well, the theme of apocalypse is huge in the X-Men lore. So how aware were all of you of the importance of the character before this film? Which Apocalypse.
Not aware.
Not aware?
No. But now I am. No, I didn't know his importance into it, and then I realized, he's only the first mutant most powerful.
He was, yeah, I was aware just because when I was a kid, I watched the cartoons. I didn't read the comic books, but I watched the cartoons. And the whole section, or sections that dealt with Apocalypse were some of the best stuff. And he comes in quite early in the cartoons as well. He's like episode 10 of the first series. And he's awesome. Like, you kind of, for the first time, go, they might get beat here. And I think that's what's fun about Apocalypse, is that he raises the stakes so high that this band of mutants, which actually I think they're all pretty bad superheroes. They're all pretty rubbish superheroes when they're on their own. They are, though. They're not very good at doing the superhero thing. They've been trying for like 9 movies now. And they can only really do it when they come together and unify. And it's not just like a team. It's not like a team of superheroes like all the other movies that are really good. It's like a family. And I think what I love about this film, it's always been about family, but what I love about this film is that this one really owns that and really references that. They talk about the fact that they are family. And if they don't sort of put their differences aside and, you know, sit down for a good Sunday meal, then the whole world's going to end. So, yeah, stay close to your family, everyone.
That is very true. And really, the theme of the movie isn't, past movies have been focused on the battle between humans and mutants, and this one is between mutants and the Four Horsemen and the Apocalypse. So, how did that theme resonate with each of you?
What theme?
Family? The family
The
thing?
family and the fact that
it's,
okay. With our characters? Or with us as individuals?
With your characters or with you?
Well, with my character, I think that she was looking for a family. And then when Apocalypse comes along, she's, you know, really drawn towards him because he's the first person who ever said, let me take care of you. In a long time, I guess. I mean, her parents obviously did, but.
And I think your character finally finds a home and finds a way to control this power that is pretty deadly.
Yeah, I think for a lot of characters in the film, they're all underdogs, and so they're just people you relate to, and you invest your time into, and you ultimately just really, really care about on both sides, good and evil. And yeah, that's what I love about this franchise, and that's why I think it's so special when you put it next to other movies of this scale and this size and this type and genre. But yeah, I mean, I just feel so honored to have become a part of it, and yeah. But I think they're great, just underlying themes in the movie. What is this? Can I just speak for? You know what? I'm done. Sorry.
You guys are the two of you and Michael, who is sadly not here. Give a shout out to Magneto. Come on.
Magneto! Oh.
They love him some Magneto.
I'm wearing red in honor of Magneto today because he can't be here.
Did you guys haze these newcomers?
I don't think we did we? We just slipped them a lot of, you know, illegal drugs. No, I don't think we did. We didn't haze. Nobody got badly hazed. People got shot by BB guns. People got punched in the punching game. And then I think it was introduced a different game, which took it to a whole different level. That one, yeah.
Which one?
No, there was just a game that got a little, like we played a lot of silly, semi-violent games that weren't, nobody really got hurt. And then Ty introduced one game that...
Got everyone
I didn't
hurt.
introduce this.
Got everyone hurt.
Who introduced that game?
No, I think...
Lucas?
Who introduced the
Lucas?
Well, when did we just start running around base camp with the airsoft guns, shooting each other?
No, that was them.
That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was them from
That was.
the other
I think
movie.
it was my favorite game that we played.
Yeah,
But we played this. We played this other game. You probably played it before, where you
Yeah, not
below the waist.
Do one of those bad boys.
Anyway, if you make eye contact with this when it's below your waist, you get one in the arm.
Yeah. But there was another one that we played, which we had to kind of stop after about 4 days because it just ended up getting insanely violent. But other than that, there was no real hazing. Everybody was really cool, and we were a tight little unit anyway, I'd say, before this movie. And there was a lot of new people coming into this movie. And I feel, and I can speak for some of the other guys as well, that I felt really lucky because everybody that came in, all you guys that came in, were just so sound. And it was lovely.
Yeah, we are pretty great.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to the audience, but we had a great time.
So you're saying you all hated each other and never want to work together again? Yeah.
If I could not see any of these people again for the rest of my life, I think I'd be like content with the world.
For you, what's the coolest part of playing Quicksilver? Because damn, running that fast is awesome.
It's just those scenes, man. The amazing special effects scenes that we shoot that are so fun to play. I mean, it's everybody's working together to make the best choice for the character, and it's just fun, man. He's a fun character. He's crazy, you know. Yeah. He's funny. Yeah, he's like a weird kind of guy. He's kind of the odd man out a little bit, and that's fun, you know. He joins the group this time, so that's kind of cool.
But what's also crazy is Evan was shooting for. It was like he was shooting his own separate movie, because the sequence in the film, he goes in after the. I don't know how much I can reveal, but he goes in and he's going to save everyone who's in the X Mansion because a big event happens, and he's off shooting with second unit for how many days?
It took like a month and a half, and I worked like 17 days for 2 minutes to film.
Yeah,
but it's awesome.
How
film.
cool is that sequence?
It was amazing. Yeah.
But the visual effects in this movie are just unreal, and
They're
the team and how many people it takes to put it together is really. And it's also really exciting for us because we're just seeing 200 feet of green screen every day is what we're standing next to. So it's really exciting to see what they put in place.
Yeah.
So when you're standing in front of green screen, you, for example, how do you visualize Scott's superpower and what he does with it?
Just think you understand. I mean, a lot of it's there on the page, so you understand the moment. You understand what your goal and the value of the scene is, and then where you want to navigate that. And there's lighting, and we've got our first AD, Josh, screaming.
Great.
He's great, man. He's great.
Tell a story about Josh.
Yes,
actually.
tell a story.
Rose Byrne and I were standing on top of Cerebro one day, just chilling in Cerebro, and.
As one does with Laura McTaggart.
And we were doing a scene where we were talking to Eric, but Eric's like in Poland, and so he wasn't there. Michael wasn't there that day. Josh, our first AD, this big, muscly dude of a dude, was reading the offlines on a microphone miles away from us, and he was really going for it and really sort of giving it everything, and he's always been like that, and I suppose I just started to take it for granted. And Rose was like, he really gives it, man. It's like, it's amazing. It really makes a difference. So Josh came up to the bottom of Cerebro, and we were like looking down on him up on the kind of the walkway thing, or the wheelchair way, and he was down there saying, great take, we're going to go again, blah, 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 blah. And Rose just went, hey, Josh, just want to say, like, it makes a real difference, man, when you do that, and we really appreciate you, and you know, thanks for going for it so much. And I swear to God, he couldn't take it, and he looked up at us, and he was just like, it looked like he was going to cry, and then he just walked away. And then the next take, we go for it again, and Nick was standing beside me, and just before they shouted cut, he was like, is Josh crying? Because, like, he went for it even more, and he acted his heart out, and he was doing this scene where Michael has just lost his wife and kid. I shouldn't say that. But, boom! Okay, yeah. He just lost them in Disney World. And he was
But he went to the Lost
them.
and found them again.
Yeah. But anyway, so Josh was, like, tearing up, and publicly, in front of the whole world, I'd love to say, Josh McLagan, you rock.
Yes.
I agree with
Agreed.
Killed it every time.
Yeah, no.
Ty, I had read that you wrote a letter to James Marsden when you got cast. Is that true?
That is true. I wrote him a letter. Yeah, because I saw someone showed me a video. Nothing. I just feel like everyone's laughing at me now. Someone showed me a video, and he had really, really nice things to say about myself and then the rest of the team that got casted as the new young X-Men. And so I wrote him a letter, and I put my email address and my phone number below, and we had a mutual friend, and he told me that he was going to see him on Super Bowl Sunday. And so I said, oh my God, man, can I write this letter and you give it to him? And so I wrote him a letter, and I just said, I'm a huge fan, and you know, it's an honor to play the younger version, and I love all of your work. And anyway, here's my email and phone number. And he wrote me back within like hours of receiving this letter.
That's so cool.
And so we kept in touch, and I would update him on things. You know, I'd say, hey, going in to get my face casted for my Cyclops glasses, and he'd write me something back like, yeah, that's one of the stranger things you'll do for this role. And then, but yeah, it was just, I'm such a good guy, and I think, you know, did you reach out to Hallie, or did
Yes,
Sophie?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, so tell us that story, Alex.
It's pretty one-sided, guys. I had like 30 different drafts to Hallie, and I was like, oh my God, Hallie, I love you. I want to know everything about you, like what kind of shampoo and deodorant she uses. And I wrote a million different types of emails, and then I finally sent one. Still waiting to hear back. It's cool though. Maybe it should have been handwritten in blood.
How much did you study her performance though before playing Storm? Did it influence how you played her?
Well, to a certain extent, because in the beginning I was like, oh man, I gotta watch everything Hallie did for Storm and do exactly that. And then I was like, well, wait, hold on, because they casted you to do this, and if you do what someone else did, then you're just gonna be an imitator. And I was like, you can't do that. People are gonna know that you're gonna be imitating Hallie. So what I did was I tried to like kind of use the idea that like a younger version of yourself would be more like feral and out of control and crazy. So I went with crazy. In case anyone was wondering.
I think a lot of people have been asking us that question, whether or not we took the performance from our older characters and that influenced us. But I think it's a different version of the character. It's very much it's such an We meet my character before he's even discovered his mutant powers, and then, yours is in
Cairo,
and you're using your superpowers to steal food, but it's
steal food.
Yeah, so I think it's all about like understanding what's on the page and then interpreting whatever that is, but also keeping in mind that what's.
It's weird because I've been asked that question for 6 years now, and I'm like, change the effing record, man. But. Apart from it being truthful and apart from it being about artist satisfaction and all that kind of stuff, I just don't think an audience would be interested in seeing somebody do the same old shit that other actors have been doing for 10 years, since the year 2000. And yet, it is a question that seems to throw journalists when they go like, what? You didn't just mimic what somebody else did? And you're like, no, people don't want to see that. I don't think you want to see the same guy every single time. Can I have a show of hands if you want us to see the same thing every time? Yes!
Hey!
Okay.
You got someone in there.
There's always one.
So the fan expectation for this movie is enormous. What did each of you take away from this specific iteration of it?
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning because I was kind of half listening to you. What's he saying? Am I going to go fuck him up? Yeah. Don't worry, I don't think I could fuck you up.
No, he can. He's got mutant powers. He totally can.
Yeah.
No, but the fan expectation for this movie is enormous. What did each of you take away from filming it?
Well, not really filming it, but watching it. I'm a big fan of the original movies, and this is a lot of origins and the younger characters and how they all started out. So that was really exciting for me to see, and I enjoyed that a lot.
I just think there's a certain amount of unity in them that they've galvanized. The last two movies, even getting into the bulk of this movie, they're a disparate kind of set of people. And by the end of this movie, the whole drive of these three movies has been getting them to the final scene, really, where they're like, we are together, we are now finally the X-Men, and what are we going to do with that? And I think what we do with that is hopefully not going to be just what they did with that in the year 2000. It's going to be taken as somewhere different, but it's going to be taken as they're together, and that's quite exciting.
I think what I learned about this, since Jubilee is fairly new to the franchise, the movies, is that the fan base is so incredibly loyal and educated, and that puts, and really, really positive for the most part. It's such a supportive environment. So that gives, us as actors a lot of mojo and hope. We're like, okay, we can do this. We're gonna bring this to life, which is really awesome. So after watching the film, I got to see it in LA a while ago. I really think everyone's gonna really like it. I don't know if that answered your question. I kind of blacked out, but that's what I have to say.
No, that
felt good.
That was good.
That felt good.
Thank you.
No, you have to talk, Ty, without anyone laughing. You cannot laugh.
Go ahead, Ty. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have people that trust you and believe in what you're doing.
Yes.
And,
yes.
I'm just checking. Yeah, but it's, like she says, I feel like the X-Men team and the X-Men family couldn't have welcomed us with warmer arms or open arms, I guess. And yeah, so it was nice to just jump into something. Although it's something that's, I mean, it's X-Men and it's a big franchise, and you're stepping in and playing a character that's been played by people before, and other people have expectations. It's still, you know, it's still a story, and it's what you know how to do, and I think you just have to remember that. And
Yeah, I mean, without good characters, there's no story. So you guys definitely bring it. And actually, before we turn over to the audience, I do want to ask you.
Wait, guys, I didn't get to say what I got out of it.
Oh.
What did you get out of it?
I'm sorry, Alex.
It's fine.
What did you get?
My bad entirely.
No.
No, please tell us.
I got out of it a shit ton of new friends. No, it's pretty cool. Like I'd hang out with all of you fuckers.
Wait, you just changed your story. Earlier you said you'd be content if you never saw them again.
Well, yeah, but I'd still hang out with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'd be content if I never saw them again, but like I'm gonna see them again. So.
I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, okay. So you have to make peace with that.
Contractually.
Exactly.
And what you brought up earlier, where do you want to see the X-Men go in the next installment? If you could script it.
I don't know, but I'd like to. I can only really speak personally for my character.
Speak for everyone, James.
Nah, I can't. I'd like to see like war between mutants. And I don't just mean like kind of. I'd like to see war between mutants, but I mean like the ins and outs of like actual warfare between mutants.
Like thousands of mutants fighting each other?
Yeah, so what would you do if you had a winged brigade? What would you do if you had a flying brigade? What would you do if you had a
Quicksilver brigade.
Yeah, well, you've got more than just Quicksilver that can move fast. So what would you do if you had a speed brigade? And how do you fight a speed brigade? How do you fight a flying brigade? How do you fight a laser eye brigade? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, what? Oh, you've got a telepath brigade? Oh, we're all fucked. Do you know what I mean? Like...
You would
here comes a helmet. Here comes a helmet.
You and Psylocke. I would
Totally.
love to see like a battle between you and Psylocke.
That would be awesome, right?
Yeah.
She'd kick my ass.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't
is
know
that
a lot
count?
about Psylocke's like all of her like telepathic powers, but she's actually like incredibly legit. I learned a lot from Olivia. She knows way too much about Psylocke.
Yeah, and also she's a proper ninja now. She trained so hard, all that stuff. She is a real ninja. So maybe something like that. But in terms of me personally, just hope to carry on being able to portray Charles slightly differently every time. Because I've been lucky from First Class to Days of Future Past. He was incredibly different. And then in this one, he was incredibly different from me. If I had to just keep playing him in the same vein, I think I'd get bored. And it's maybe somebody else's turn to do it. But if I can keep kind of going through stuff with Charles and Simon's continued to write that for him, then I'm dead excited.
And plus, you got to wear the '80s attire this time, and you can't put a price tag.
Yeah, I look like a Miami Vice reject. What I love is like I'm on this mountaintop, and you guys all look like superheroes, and I'm and I'm just like in a lilac sweater, and I'm like, is it hot? And I'm like, but I look good, so. So yeah, it's weird to be that sort of Miami Vice in the middle of a superhero movie.
You do, yeah. Pastels are definitely your thing.
Cute.
You're welcome. Now to our audience, please.
We're going to start with a question from an online viewer. So Taylor would like to know, do you all have a collective favorite blooper from set?
Did you guys see the one of Oscar?
I haven't seen any bloopers.
Oh, okay.
bloopers.
You
mean like
okay,
bloopers,
Brian showed it
bloopers,
to me
or-
on his phone. Okay, Brian has the best blooper of Oscar, and he's like shouting like, "Everything they build will fall," and then I think he fumbles over a line and like grabs his crotch and he's like, "Oh fuck," and then he like goes right back into it and is like killing it, and you're just like, "Oh wow, he's so dope."
I remember when we had a great day where we made a really good dub smash, and yes, we love it. If we can pull that up, we'll all watch it and just like. But on that day also, it was the day where all the new X-Men, so Nightcrawler and Alex as Storm, and you as Quicksilver.
I was at Crafty.
Yeah.
Sophie and who else was there? Oh, and you, sorry, as Cyclops.
Cyclops
and
Lana wasn't there.
No, was there. And
Weren't there?
I don't know what he's talking about.
no, it's come. And Raven is walking up and down. Won't call her Mystique. She's called Raven to me. And Raven is walking up and down, going like, "Forget everything you know. There's nothing you've learned is worth learning. You're not men. You're X-Men," or something like that, right? And so we did one take where she was like walking up and she was like, forget everything you know. And Nick, as Beast, just goes, everything you know. And starts to repeat everything right after her.
Like
you're
a
not
hype
men.
man.
He's like, you're not men. And to Jennifer's credit, she did not blink an eye. She
Kept
just
it
carried
going.
on, went through the entire thing, and hopefully it'll be on the DVD extras.
Next question.
Hi guys. I wanted to know if you guys could choose to be any other X-Men or villain, who would you choose to be?
Nightcrawler.
Magneto.
No, you. Me? I'm thinking.
All right, Gambit. Yeah, I love Gambit. Hey, I'd get to look like Channing Tatum. Come on.
Honestly, I'd like to be Rogue, but I know that's a hard life. But it would be Rogue. If I didn't kill people with my touch, like if I could be like Rogue sans killing people, that would be nice.
Batman. Oh, he's not an X-Men, is he? Not yet.
Crossover.
Next question, please.
How's it going, guys? I'm curious, has your perception of your characters changed at all from the day you first got the script to like now or the day you wrap filming at all?
Yes, I was when I first came in, I was incredibly over the top. I don't know if you remember that, but you were like, "Hey man, you're really making him your own." It's like, oh, thanks, dude. I, really appreciate
I never
it.
said that.
Yeah.
Did I say
you
that?
You did say that.
Did I?
You did. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, thanks, dude." But in a nice way.
No, but in a nice way,
in
right?
a nice way. Yeah.
I thought from day one you did, but we did
And then
actually.
we reshot it.
Yeah.
Then we had to reshoot it. Yeah. That was way too crazy. So yeah, Quicksilver's more chill now. He's more relaxed, and then just happens to be fast. So, yeah.
Yeah. I've been doing it for 6 years, so my perception of him has really changed. He's getting a lot older. Apparently he's 106, but he only looks my age. Because every movie goes by 10 years, and yet we don't age that much. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, every movie he's been a very different prospect for me and a different side to him, and his evolution has been portrayed for the audience. So it has been very different in the script, not just in terms of what I brought. So I've been lucky that way.
Guys, I forgot the question again.
Has your perception of your character changed from the time you read the script to now?
I mean, I guess when I saw the movie, I don't know, guy. I don't know if I can answer that question. I think when I saw the movie, what I thought I was doing while I was filming it was not what I was doing at all. And then I saw the movie and I was like, okay, so now I see where we're going.
Good notes, good notes.
Go on, mate.
Go on, babe. Do it.
Go on, man. Do it.
I'm not gonna
Answer the question.
I'm gonna be cool about it.
Go, Ty.
I don't know if God, I'm just gonna pass on this one.
Okay.
No.
Nice. I thought in the beginning when I first read the script that Storm was going to be evil and that I was going to be like, secretly laughing at everyone in my head. And I kind of, that over the course of actually like really, really working on it and then even seeing it, you really do see that Storm has a bit of like humanity to herself and she's not just a bad guy. I mean, you can play bad guy straight and you can just be like, secretly I want everyone to trip. But like, you could also be like cool about it.
And last question, please.
Hi. This question is actually for James. The relationship between Charles and Eric has been integral to the series since the very beginning. Why do you think, after 9 movies and everything, that still resonates so strongly with people, that relationship?
I think because they represent the warring aspects of humanity a little bit. Our higher selves, our intellectual evolution, which has led us to have concepts such as pacifism and social welfare and Medicare, things like that, which completely go against our instincts for self-preservation and protection of your family and your kind and just your people. And yet they're both completely valid and they're both part of the human experience, but they're at war within us. And I think that Charles and Eric embody that hugely. And they're both, even at Eric's darkest, I think you understand him. And even though we want to believe in the good guy, Professor X is kind of dumb a lot of the time. Do you know? Because he's a genius and he can't quite believe Eric when he says, they will betray us again, Charles. And you're like, yeah, they've done it for 9 movies. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna betray us again. So I think they're both kind of impossible without each other.
And actually, I have one last question. What was the origin of the punching game?
Jennifer Lawrence was the origin of the punching game.
Was it?
As is much of the origin of violence on our sets. It's Jennifer Lawrence, really. Jennifer Lawrence is responsible for me getting a bruise this size on my arm because she made the game exist, and then I decided to play the game with Hugh Jackman. And yeah, but he was cool. He would like pull his punches a little bit because he's a big guy and he could really hurt somebody. And I was like laying into him. And one day I managed to sell the perfect punch, and it was just like it came from my toe to my knuckle, and it was just like, whoop. And I really hurt him. And I was like, you're like the little guy that hurt Hugh Jackman. You're like, yeah. And he just looked at me, and I swear to God, he is the nicest man in showbiz. And it's the only time I think I've ever seen him a little bit angry. And he was like, I'm gonna put you through a wall. And he did. He rocked me physically about a month later. After any room I went into for a whole month that had him in it, I was like aware. I was ready. I wasn't going to look at his fingers. I wasn't going to do anything that would mean I'd get punched. It took a month for him to get me, and he got me after a month, and he absolutely nailed me. And I had a bruise the size of Africa on my arm. Yeah.
Oh, Professor Xavier should have been able to read his mind.
Yeah.
So the movie opens on Friday.
Yeah, I guess so, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, all you guys. And everyone go see it.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.